What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy John, coming at you with a real quick video today. Not too long, but I just wanted to quickly say that if you're a young man watching this video, so you're like what, age 16 to 30, let's say, it's perfectly actually 16 to like 27, I'll say, maybe not 30 precisely. It doesn't matter, but I'm giving you just an arbitrary age just so I can narrow down the focus a little bit. It's okay, man, to not know how shit works yet. It's okay, like, it's fine. We live in a culture, you got to understand it from the way things are being shown to you. We live in a culture where everyone seems to have figured shit out. And I mean everything. We live in a culture where they say you should be doing more. I get up at 3 AM in the morning and wash my ass with cold water. I technically do that in some format, maybe not 3 AM, but I do take a cold shower every morning. But that's not the point. The point is, we live in a culture where people are telling you to work more, work harder, work more, do more. And they keep pointing to you and they tell you that you're inadequate. They say you're inadequate, you haven't got to where you are. I'm this years old, I'm this age, and I haven't done this and I haven't done that. You gotta do it now, man, otherwise time's ticking away. And they scare you into buying their product, basically, or buying their pitch. The key of sales is to induce emotion. You never convince someone to buy your product by telling them what's good about it. You create a need. You make sure that they want your product after you induce something. You induce an emotion. And people are very stupid. And I say stupid people because I mean myself as well. We're very stupid and we're very naive and impressionable and susceptible to bullshit. We buy bullshit wherever we go. We buy our own bullshit, let alone buy other people's bullshit as well. It's going to go a bit dark. Apologies. You can see my face now. It looks like a video game character. That's blocked, if you catch my drift. Anyway, you know, do you see what I'm trying to say, man? We live in a culture that's telling you that you're not okay where you are. Now, look, may you be in some unsafe or savoury circumstances. Could your situation be a little bit better? Always. There's never going to come a time where everything's perfect. Even if you're rich, what are you going to do spending all your days? Let's say you've got your money needs sorted out and you've got every kind of pleasure in the world. What are you going to do? I've seen what rich people do on a daily basis. I mean, they go to fancy restaurants, they have a conversation, they talk about normal shit just like you and me do. They might dress in fancy clothing, they might come in a fancy car, they might walk with a kind of regal attitude. But that's it, man. They're like you and me. They sit, they talk, they bitch, they gossip, they cry, they get frustrated. If anything, I just think about what the rich person does when they go home into their palace. What do they do when they're at home? You can submerge yourself in pleasure, and that's basically what rich people do. They submerge themselves in pleasure. I've got no problem against submerging yourself in pleasure. Do it if that's what you want to do. If you want to be a hedonist, be a hedonist. But my point is, where you are right now, and what doubts and fears and insecurities you have, you're going to, if you have a good head on your shoulders, you're going to work your way through them. There's some people coming along. Let me pause this for 2 minutes. So the lovely gentlemen have walked by. I'm just going to finish this off real quick. If you're a young dude watching this video, young guy watching this video, you can see the energy difference, can't you? I'm just keeping the voice down a little bit. Don't want to be too loud, but you're okay where you are. You're fine. Can your situation be improved? Absolutely. Are you going to do the necessary things to work through these difficulties? Absolutely. Instant gratification, I want it now kind of attitude, you can't apply that to your life situations, because Life doesn't work like that. You can't just insert a cheat code and immediately get what you want. It takes grind, it takes effort, it takes work. That's, again, not part of the point. The point of this video is to tell you, and it's a bit of an affirmation, that you're okay where you are. You're fine. You're good, dude. You're fine. Like, you are where you're meant to be right now. And your emotions may tell you otherwise, your thoughts may tell you otherwise, but you're not your thoughts or your feelings. You're just you. And this is it. When I say this is it, I mean this moment. What you have this moment is all you have. Will the content that appears in this moment change? Absolutely. Start seeing life from that perspective. I'm in this moment, and in this moment, it's like a movie. I'm stationary, I'm sitting here, but the content in front of me will always change, and that goes for your thoughts and your feelings as well. That goes through for the people that you see, and the music that you hear, right? Life soundtrack and movie, whatever, will always change. It will always vary. Life is change. It's growth and decay. Again, that's not part of the point. The point is that if you're a young man, you haven't figured shit out, you will. Over time, trial and error. It will happen by itself though. You don't have to force the process. If you're doing spiritual practices, and I call them spiritual because I don't have another word for them, but if you're doing practices like NoFap, no PMO, and you're lifting weights, you're going to the gym, you're reading books, reading good stuff, self-development, learning. We call that learning, we call it self-development, but really it's just fucking growth at its core. If you're doing that shit, man, you're already in the top 1% echelon of people who are actually actively taking action on their own part. Now, reading books can be taking action, and it cannot be. If you're trying to take action on something and you're reading instead of that, alright, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should do the thing. Like meditation. If you're still reading about meditation, how much do you need to read before you try and actually meditate? And when I say try and meditate, I use that again because I don't have another word for it. When you meditate, you meditate. You don't try to meditate, you are meditating. Even when you try to meditate, you're meditating. So rather than read books, because they're all fun, and that's all fun and games and leisure and pleasure and fun and games, but it's not going to be meditating. The same thing, I can talk about finances, and a little bit of learning needs to take place in finances, fair enough. But the same thing with women and girls and shit. If you want to get better with girls, talk to girls. No one's going to teach you what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you other than you, and other than you going and just doing it yourself. And seeing how life plays out, rather than coming to a conclusion and a judgment in your head about how things are going to pan out. Because you're always going to base your current decisions and judgments and thoughts and feelings based on your current condition, your current conditioning, based on your current state. If you're in a bad mental state right now, you're going to think bad mental things about anything, everything. You're going to make excuses for every fucking bad thing that happens to you in your life, and you're going to make them bad, and you're going to make them worse than they actually are. And if you're in a positive, or if you're just in a contented state of mind and state of being, the same thing. You're going to see everything as being something that works out, and something that will figure a way, man, it'll work out, whatever. It's not really a cause for concern. But don't fret. Don't fret, it's all okay. You will figure things out. Life is about figuring things out, and you will figure it out. Okay, so don't worry about it, and don't fret, and don't go crazy. You're young and inexperienced. You can't expect to have everything figured out already. I don't care if other people have. Maybe they seem like they have, but they really haven't. You know, the amount of times I've been called confident in the last 1 year, I'd say, since I started taking NoFap and self-development just seriously. You know, it's not just something I'm doing on the side anymore. It's something that I'm fucking passionate about, but I've got a different spin on it now. It's not self-development anymore. It's called philosophy. It's called philosophy. It's called life philosophy, and living by what I say, right? Living by what I preach, because I tell other people the advice, but if I'm not living by it, I'm a hypocrite. And you know, I mean, I'd laugh at other people, but at the end of the day, I want to be congruent with what I say. I want to be truthful. I don't want to lie. So this is philosophy for me, and everything that I do in the name of philosophy is geared towards one goal, and that's peace, contentment. It's not anything material anymore, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to enjoy material things. People all of a sudden think, all right, if you're a philosopher, or if you're a Buddhist, or if you meditate, you've foregone earthly pleasures. What rubbish! What rubbish! You're a human being. You're still alive. You're still in the world. You are the world. Okay, you can't just let go of it that easily. You're still going to be attached to certain things, and that's fine, as long as they don't define your state of being. That's really it. You can enjoy food and sex and music and wine, as long as you don't define yourself by these things. That's how a lion does it. That's how an animal does it. Yeah? Think about how a gorilla treats pleasures. They don't just fucking throw themselves into the sugar cane. If they found it, they probably would, but you know what I mean. They enjoy themselves when they have a chance to, and they enjoy it, and then they move on, and they do the hard labor, and they, you know what I mean? I'm off my drift anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was good. Hope it was useful. And just remember again, stop worrying and threatening about things that, number one, aren't in your control in the first place. Because if you're worrying about the future, it ain't in your control. You can plan, but it ain't in your control. And the past isn't in your control either, so worrying about that's stupid as well. And making sense of your rational mind, or rather putting your rational mind to a good use, is a good start to being happy, and to being content, and to being satisfied, let's say. But that doesn't mean, again, you're not going to take action when action is needed, or you're not going to plan for the future, or you're not going to get angry. These things are all going to still happen, but there's just a certain degree of knowing that I'm okay still. It doesn't matter what could happen. Anything bad could happen on the outside world, but I'm going to still be okay as long as I'm alive. And even if I'm not alive, I'm still going to be okay, because I won't be here to see the death, you know. If anything, death's kind of something like I'm looking forward to it. What's it going to be like? I've never tried it before. And this is why normal people think philosophers are insane. Gentlemen, hope you enjoyed this video. And ladies as well, of course. I keep forgetting that. Me and my sexist ways. Misogynistic ways. Pig. Hope you enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Take it easy.